Happy New Year! Welcome back to my channel 100 Degrees of M&K. It has been a phenomenal 2024 and 2025 so far has not disappointed. I also want to take this time to send out my prayers and well wishes to all that are affected in the Los Angeles wildfires, and so many more who have been displaced, lost property, lost family members, and are going to be starting fresh from scratch. If you're looking for places to donate, I will be leaving links below this video so that we can also help to uplift those who are in need. Make sure you take a trip to the description in this video to find out more how you can be a part of helping our neighbors out west. We are currently at 429 subscribers. We are just shy of 71 subscribers, and I noticed the engagement has dropped. So I need your help. I need to know that I am reaching my core audience. I need to know that we are in sync, together, bread and butter, all right, for this 2025 year, because we are only going up from here, okay? I don't want to find myself stagnant in yet another year. And I just have to pat myself on the back because last year, to the very end, I was consistent, even though I wasn't dropping videos every single day or every other month. So I just wanted to acknowledge my consistency last year, and I'm hoping that it continues throughout this 2025. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. Stop asking me who, stop asking me when, stop asking me what, stop asking me where and how. This 2025, I would really like for society to free itself from asking, where is the man? Where is the child? When are you going to settle down? Why haven't you settled down? Who are you dating? Like, since when does this all become everybody's business? When? Typically, when it comes to my dating life and who I'm seeing in that moment, I keep it to myself, online and offline, because it's nobody's business. And my friends, they kind of know the drill. We're all in the same dating climate and getting to know people and trying to take people seriously era of our lives. So we all know what the dating world looks like. But I feel as though when our family members see you being young, traveling, independent, and have a steady job, I think their brains automatically go, uh-oh, what's going on? Where's the man? There has to be a man. And I know my male counterparts can relate to this, where's the girl? Where's your girlfriend? Like, it's just out of control now, and I don't think they're really taking a step back to see, what does the climate look like out there that is delaying birth rates, not just in this country but around the world. And I don't really think they're thinking that far ahead. I think everyone means well. I know everyone means well, but I think at this point, boundaries have to be put into place. And I've had to do this with my own mother and tell her, like, hey, listen, at this point right now, that's not my priority. And I would appreciate if you don't send me videos of toddlers. I had a conversation with her, and she did tell me that it wasn't in any way trying to convey or push me into thinking, okay, I should start thinking about getting married and having children. So I did tell her, okay, you got it. But just making those around me aware of where I am in my life and how I'm choosing to progress and move forward. Let me be honest with you. Before I gained my independence, got my own apartment, started working and going to grad school full time, I was kind of feeling left out of the game. You know, my friends were starting families, my friends were getting married, and then on social media, like, you see these lavish, extravagant weddings, you're seeing these extravagant proposals, and I realized at that moment that I myself had fallen victim to idolizing the wedding, idolizing the maternity photos, idolizing everything but the actual partnership and the actual parenthood. So I have officially freed myself of those things over the years, and now that has come back to bite me because everybody and their mama is up my neck on what's next, who is he, and I'm just not here for it. You know what I'm not hearing people ask outside of my workspace and friend space? I mean, when I say people, I mean within my family structure, you know, aunts, uncles, parents, those people. They're not asking me, you know, how's the job search going? How's school progressing? Are you looking to get a car? Here's what we know about, you know, getting the best insurance rates, or are you looking to invest? These are questions that I'm not being asked. And granted, I know if I went out on a limb and asked these questions, people within my family and within my close circle would be more than happy to assist me in that. But I want the conversation to get back to being about me and not who I'm connected to and who I am possibly going to bring into this world. Is that too much to ask? No one is really seeking women out to actually raise them up unless we are going out there to look for those things. It's typically just reduced to who we're dating, when we're going to get married, and if and when are we going to have kids. It's never just about me. Over the years, it didn't really bother me as much as it does now because I feel like women are never really free of these timelines that are placed upon us as far as getting to the next stage in our lives. Growing up Christian, it was very difficult for me to come forward when I was seeing someone or when I had interest in a boy. And for the most part, that set the tone for how I handled my love life with regards to family and, you know, loved ones or just people who know me in my life. And that is not to say that I am secretive. It just means that I'm very private and I'm very mindful of who I present to my loved ones as my person. I've gone through different emotions when it comes to answering the question of who am I dating? Are you guys serious? What's going on? Or why are you still single? It really does get to me because I feel as though no one ever truly considers the individual and their journey. They just want to see the final result. I don't think my family knew to the degree what my dating life was like until I released my book, Mom, Memoirs of Manji, about, 4 years ago. That's how closed off I've been when it comes to my dating life and my love life, because I feel as though if I'm to introduce someone to my family, they have to be the best person, the best man for the job. And I have not been able to come across that in a way that I know for a fact I will be happy down the line. Sorry but not sorry for interrupting today's video. This is your official 2025 memo to grab your copy of Mom, Memoirs of Manji. Make sure you head on over to Amazon, type in your search bar, M-O-M, Mom, Memoirs of Manji. It's available in paperback and in hardcover. Let's get back to today's programming. I know the people in my life mean well, but oftentimes I feel as though we're not considering the other factors that come into play when it comes to dating and eventually finding someone to settle down with and building a family. Financially, emotionally, physically, I feel like right now, women for the most part are at risk with the way society is going, because we're seeing that more and more men are becoming vocal about how they truly feel about women. And even the good guy and the guy that is a candidate to be introduced to family and friends as the one is susceptible to inheriting those traits, thoughts, and feelings about women. I find that a lot of men are jealous of their female counterparts. I think the influencer era really brought a lot of that jealousy and hate outward, because women don't have to go through the ranks in corporate America to become financially independent, be able to give themselves the best things in life, luxury, travel, and just peace of mind. So now it's like, well, we need you to go back to being traditional women. We need you to not be so much about your career. We need you to focus more on family. All of this is being said while at the same time we're hearing men vocalize how they're not interested in being active fathers. They're not interested in being providers. This is the society that we are living in. And if they're not vocal about it in real life, it just makes me wonder, what are they actually thinking? So it is not to say that I haven't come across really kind people of the opposite sex. It is just to say that currently the marketing isn't doing what it needs to be doing when it comes down to relationships and family. And that, coupled with my own experiences, is enough for me to say I am content with the pace I am going as far as relationships and beyond. Currently, I am in a space where I just want to be financially right. I want stability. I want investments. I want to make sure that I am secure, whether in a relationship or single. And I feel like every individual, men and women, need to think critically about these things before getting into relationships, serious relationships with one another. And as someone who is not a relationship expert but have had enough experiences personally to understand that this is not what I want at this very moment, it's very frustrating when you constantly are hearing it over and over and over again, you know, from sometimes random people, people at work, people at home. And I think, as I mentioned earlier on, the only group of people that understand how serious and difficult it is in this time of dating is my friends, whether that be male or female. And granted, that doesn't make them the experts, that doesn't make me the experts of dating and relationships, but I think we all had chop breakfast. As Berta Boy would say, we've all chopped our own breakfast in this dating sphere to understand why we might just want to take it a little slower than the generations before us. In this stage of my life, I am still parenting the little girl in me. I'm still trying to work through my emotional, mental, physical wellness. It's almost as if you will be damned if you say you don't want to have children, if you say you're not looking for a husband, if you say you don't need a man at this very moment. It's almost like, how dare you? So selfish. And everyone is skipping over the steps that takes for someone, an individual, to become whole and then find another individual, hopefully that is also whole or on their way to becoming whole. Because we still all come with our own brokenness. The difference maker is how serious both parties are about healing their brokenness and willing to work through getting to know each other and building in the long term. Like, it takes two people to be fully committed in a relationship, to be fully committed to getting married, to be fully committed to raising a family. And I just don't feel like West African women are given that grace to do it in that capacity, because we are still battling our cultural expectations coupled with the greater societal expectations that are placed on women. I feel like it's almost made as though women have to want marriage and children rather than choose partnership and parenthood. The two P's, partnership and parenthood. I just can't see myself doing it like how the women before me did it. And this is me saying it with the most respect and honor given to women who have contributed to my generation being present. So that includes my aunts, my grandmothers, my mom. But in the same breath, this is a different time. I'm going to get a little personal. So a couple of days into the new year, I found myself speaking to someone who I once considered to be a significant other. And he had been going through a difficult time. And while we never fully reconnected and agreed that, this is something that we're going to do together and we're going to try again, I found myself forcing my way into trying to get there without his consent. And when he finally disclosed to me that he didn't feel the same way, or that he didn't have the capacity to love me in the way that I had loved him or was showing love to him, I realized that was my tipping point, and that was my final realization to just be okay with walking away with my dignity intact and giving people permission to choose you. I want to be with somebody because we both choose each other, not because it's unrequited, whether it's me or the other person. And that was enough for me. Since then, I've been okay. I've been in good spirits, and I felt more confident in myself because I knew that at that very moment, it was never me. And sometimes I feel as though us women have a way of trying to make it about us when things don't work out with the other person, rather than just seeing that, you know what, that person is not in that space and they don't have the capacity to love you, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean you have to stick around. That doesn't mean that you have to keep yourself available to that person or stop your life. Like, I am in a space right now where I can proudly say that I have no desire to date at this very moment, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to explore it again. And that is one of the primary reasons why I am not I am not even pursuing relationships. I'm not pursuing marriage in this very moment, because right now what I desire for myself is stability and a greater sense of security, both financially, emotionally, and physically. So I am very content and very much in love with the direction that I'm going in. And sometimes it's difficult to get all of that out at once when I'm bombarded with all of these questions, or just simply being told, hey, I think a family member told me this around New Year's. I was holding my cousin's daughter, my niece, and niece slash cousin, because to me it's all the same at this point. And that person told me, it fits you. And I'm like, what fits me? And they're like, it fits you that you have a child on your hip. And I said, what? And it really kind of annoyed me, because I hate that society wants to constantly force motherhood on women, no matter how that woman is doing in their life. They're not thinking about where that woman is mentally. And this goes back to choosing the two P's. Like, I don't want children. I want to choose parenthood. There are people who have children and are just not meant to be parents. And you see this time and time again, where children grow up and they feel like they've been emotionally neglected. They feel like they haven't gotten their end of the deal, which was, well, I'm here now, and your job as a parent is to pour into me. But what I find with people who want to have children, it's more self-serving. It's, okay, you know what? I'm going to provide a roof. I'm going to provide the clothes. I'm going to provide the food. And that's all it's going to take for you to love me back, or for you to do what I say. It's almost contractual in a way. And then they wonder why those children grow up and they are so disconnected. There is no bond. And it's sad, and then when we're trying to mend these relationships, it's almost as though the onus falls back on the child for not being the kid that their parents wanted them to be, because again, people are choosing to want to have children but not necessarily choosing parenthood. So for me, I want to choose parenthood. I want to choose to be a parent. I don't want to have children. There's a difference. And my third and final point would simply be, it will happen when it's supposed to happen. If that looks different for me than the next person, I am okay with that. There is no rush. There's no race to do it first. I have friends who've started motherhood and marriage, and they have their own struggles and they have their happy moments, and most of it, for the most part, are joyous moments. But then I also have friends who didn't have the best beginning to parenthood, and I'm not saying that marriage and parenthood is going to be a perfect ride, or it's going to be a smooth ride, but I want it to be a ride when that time comes that I've chosen and that I find it to be worth it and I'm committed. And I also want the person that I'm doing it with to also be committed. I'm just not okay with the idea of a guy being present in a marriage. I don't want somebody that's just gonna take up space. And let's circle back that to being single in a relationship. I don't want it to just be a situation where my partner is just existing. I don't want to be a wife that provides free labor and that's it for my partner. Like, free labor and free childcare, and I feel like that's what society has reduced motherhood and a wife's role in a marriage. And it's not attractive. The marketing is just not what it needs to be. It's not giving what it's supposed to give. I am going to leave by just stating again that in this life, however I choose to progress, when it is my turn, and if it never is my turn, I want to be content with where I am at in that moment. Because if it's truly supposed to happen 2, 3 years, 4, 5, 10, 15 years from now, when it happens, I want to make sure that it is worth the while. And I put 100% into the things that I love and the things that I do. So when that stage of my life comes, or if it comes, because I might choose something different. If I choose that path, I would like to know that through it all, I'm content and it's worth the while. So the next time you ask someone approaching their 30s, when, who, where, why, what, just keep in mind that they might be in a different space and it's really none of your business. So with that being said, stop asking, stop badgering, and let life take its course. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like this video. Comment below if you can relate or if this resonates with your story. And see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.